Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. In case it wasn't obvious already, we are currently living in Clown World, and over the past couple of videos, we've been focusing on more individual topics. So today, I wanted to grab all the ridiculous takes from Twitter that have been posted over the past couple of days, round them up for a little compilation that we can point and laugh at while losing some brain cells, while reminding ourselves that we truly do live in Clown World. So this first tweet is a pretty crazy one. So luckily, I snagged this screenshot late last night because they have since privated their account. And I'm going to censor their name because I don't know the reason they privated, so I'm going to just respect their anonymity here. But basically, this user was dragged by thousands of people over this tweet. You can see it has nearly 2,000 quote retweets, and all of the replies are attacking this person. Now, what did they post? Well, let's see. It says, reason number 3,720 why those under 18 should not be allowed on Twitter. And basically the little comic here, the message is you have adults at an adults only event talking, and then a minor comes up and says, ew, stop, you're gross. And then the adults say, go away, and then the child freaks out. The message of this is, of course, that minors do not have a space in not safe for work spaces. They don't have a place there. Minors don't belong in not safe for work places of the internet. They shouldn't be there. And somehow, this person gets attacked en masse by thousands of Twitter users. So all of the replies and quote retweets that are attacking this person can be boiled down to two kinds of people: unsupervised minors and very suspicious adults. Because who else would get angry when someone says minors shouldn't engage in not safe for work spaces? Yeah, it's like, first of all, with the minors, like, is there something you guys want to tell us? Like, what is going on? Who made you think that you have a voice and a place in not safe for work spaces? Like, who did this to you? And then the adults, why are you, an adult, upset that another adult is saying minors shouldn't engage in not safe for work content in spaces? Why are you as an adult upset about that? Very suspicious stuff, to say the least. And of course, like, even in this user's bio, ironically, they have minors do not interact, and all of these minors are interacting with this tweet, telling them to stay out of not safe for work spaces. The quote retweets and the replies just proved this person's point entirely. And their only defense to all this was calling the original poster old, or saying that they don't like the specific not safe for work content that these children find problematic. Well, I think you should find all those things problematic because you shouldn't be looking at them in the first place. There is no reason a minor should be talking about anything to do with not safe for work content or telling adults what they can or can't like. You have no place at all in this space. And anyone who tells you that you do is suspicious, to say the least. But yes, this person got absolutely dragged by thousands of Twitter users for simply saying, minors, stay away from not safe for work spaces. That really makes you think, huh? But we're going to move on to the next tweet. This one is about Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice, a topic I never thought I would say on this channel. Now, it's a little bit censored, but for context, they are collaborating for a song and they are twerking on one another. And somehow, people are upset, and you won't believe why. This user, in the replies with over 3,000 likes, saying, a 40-year-old mother twerking with a 22-year-old. A 22-year-old child. That is how terminally online we have gotten. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know many children who can legally purchase alcohol in the United States. That is a very strange thing to say. Not to mention just infantilizing, like telling a 22-year-old woman that she is a child. Not exactly the supportive attempt that you're making, but really, 22 years old, child. What went wrong? Like that, for example, a 22-year-old is like someone who not only has graduated high school, but probably has a 4-year degree under their belt and is out in the workforce. Like, that's how far separated from a child they are. It's absolutely insane. And also just seeing like Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj. Like, those are the craziest fandoms out there, and they also have their craziest haters. Like, I swear to God, I could go, this is a little off topic, but I could literally post a picture of Ice Spice and say, personally, I think she's a 9.5 out of 10. And I would have a few dozen death threats in the next hour because I didn't say she was a 10 out of 10. Like, they are the most insane fans, and I just want no part of that. But basically, the point here is, how have we gotten to this where 22 years old is a child? And also, why? Explain to me, please, how you're the normal one in this situation when you see two thick, full-grown women twerking, and your first thought is children. Explain that to me. How is that normal? Where did we go wrong? But yeah, talking about Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj, not exactly what I saw coming for today's video, but here we are. And I'm just embracing it and pointing and laughing because what else can you do? So wild transition here. Now we're moving on to Japanese Twitter, where we have this hot take that is being heavily criticized that is trying to say that male otakus are a problem, unlike female otakus who are generally more well-adjusted. So let's read this roughly translated tweet. It says, "I'm not criticizing male otaku in general. I'm only criticizing the part of the male otaku that prone to misogyny. Female otaku are generally healthy and have no problems at all. That's why I'm calling out to male otaku. Don't make misogyny. Let's be brighter and bolder, like female otaku." Now, you know this thread is doomed when it begins by saying that women have no problems at all. Am I right, fellas? I'm just kidding. But trying to say either gender has no problems, not a very good start. But they're trying to say that there's something inherently unique about a certain sect of male otakus, that they are somehow more degenerate and bad and have more behavioral issues than female otakus. Well, has this person ever seen like Fujishis or like the yaoi community, who the biggest consumers of that are, or like the biggest consumers of NTR in fiction? Like, please, women, female otakus have the same level of degeneracy as male otakus. It's just a flip side of the same coin of degeneracy, okay? Like, there's nothing inherently different. The problem is, we're talking about the extremes, right? Like, what the worst of the worst of the otaku community, the most shut-in, degenerate types. Is there something different about males and females? No. Any sort of behavioral issues that come from being an otaku is just that. It's from being an otaku. Like, if you're locked in your house 24/7, never talk to anyone, and only consume like the most degenerate of fictional content you can find, you're probably going to have a behavioral issue, and that's going to be a little bit different than, you know, there's going to be no difference if you're male or female. It's just the same side of the, flip side of the same coin. You guys get it. And you have to ask yourself, like, again, kind of pointing out it's all the same in the end, like, who are the biggest fans of Redo of Healer? Well, it's women. Women are the biggest consumers. People point to Redo of Healer, which, of course, a very tourist take, but they're like, that is the most effed up franchise we've ever seen, and yet that one is consumed largely by women. So what does that say? I don't think there's really any difference between female and male otakus, and obviously there's a good reason why this is getting dunked on, because it's just, well, wrong. But we're going to move on. Another big shift in what we're talking about. So there's been a lot of talk about the Disney Little Mermaid live action remake here. And we've talked about it before, but basically there's a lot of controversy involving the casting of the main actress playing Ariel, of course, and because she has darker skin, some people have been critical. But the main reason why this movie and its related trailers have been getting dislike bombed is not what the media is trying to say, that it's people upset about the casting. It's because the trailers look terrible, and the whole concept of remaking this as a live action is unnecessary, and it adds nothing other than just adding in this hire that already sparks a lot of issues, whether that's justified or not. But you're trying to come in with this live action remake and it's dark and very uninspired looking. Like when you think of Little Mermaid, you think of bright, vibrant colors. And this is exactly what the trailer looks like. It's like this dead looking scene of very dark themes and tones. It's like depressing. It's supposed to be a kid's movie. And a lot of media have been blaming the dislikes on, of course, racists who were upset about the casting. Well, a lot of people said in defense, who cares who you hire? It's all just who's the most talented, right? Why are you angry at this actress for being hired as Ariel? Who cares about the race of the actress? It's about the performance. Well, those people are coming out as massive hypocrites after this has come out. So there is a now live action Lilo and Stitch coming out, which, again, why? Why are they making this? Who knows? But people are angry about the hiring of this actress to play Nani. So they are pointing out, obviously, the different skin tones between the character and the actress. Now, the most hilarious part about this is that people have pointed out that they used a brightening filter on this picture to make her more fair-skinned, which is some loser stuff to begin with. But the people who are justifying the Little Mermaid hire are now mad about this and saying that they're literally erasing Hawaiian culture. And an even more funny little piece of information here. The actress is native-born Hawaiian. She was born and raised in Hawaii. She is a Hawaiian actress. And people are mad because her skin color isn't dark enough. She doesn't have enough melanin. Like, come on, really? And you have tweets like this coming out with 60,000 likes saying, not being indigenous or from a person of color community, it may not be easy to see a problem with this casting, but within our communities, this is a big issue. This is a big issue. If this is a big issue in your life, I am envious, because clearly you have a very privileged life. If this is a big issue, the hiring of this cartoon character's live action actress, if this is a big issue to you, man, life must be good if this is the biggest thing going on in your world. But yeah, nonetheless, we've seen a lot of clown takes today, right? A lot of crazy stuff. You may be sitting here thinking to yourself, it's over. Owarida. It's over. Well, careful. Don't say things like that on the internet, because if you're in the United States, you might land yourself on a watch list. So this oversight project on Twitter has posted a new FBI domestic terrorism reference guide, and it's talking about incels, involuntary celibate violent extremism in this case. So they're laying out some key terms that these domestic terrorists are using. Some of those phrases include, it's over. So if you say it's over, you might end up on a watch list for involuntary celibate violent extremism. If you say something like Stacy, which is supposedly an idolized version of a woman that picks the Chad, that might get you on a watch list. If you have any sort of variation of the term cell, like incel, or you add, like, people do this if they're a fan of something, right? They'll say, for example, like, I'm a rev cell, meaning like you're really into my content. That's used in many different variations. Well, cell is on there as well. So if you use any sort of little variation of that, you could be a domestic terrorist. Who knows? The government will be watching you. This was absolutely insane. It's one of those things that shows how out of touch these organizations are, and I'm supposed to trust these people to take care of the bad guys when they're worrying about people posting like Chad and the virgin incel type memes. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is ridiculous. But another reminder that we truly are living in clown world. But that's going to do it for this video. I know a whole host of topics there, so please let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.